This is more about living in the time of the coronavirus epidemic. I watched a video of people eating sushi prepared by a master in Japan, and they were overwhelmed by the experience by eating small bites of food, mostly raw seafood and vinegar rice. They were disoriented, discombobulated. They said, no matter what happened in your day, the shit you had to put up with at work, how crowded the subway was, you forgot all of that. Each plate transported you away, and the best part was that months later you could recall it exactly how wonderful it was. So I'm thinking maybe we need more than vaccines or rescue money. I'm thinking we'd be better off if we could hook up with some of this sushi. But I don't think visitors can get into Japan right now, and I'm not sure if sushi from Walmart would get the same reaction. Then I saw another food video about a restaurant named Cox, called the most inaccessible eatery in the world. It was on one of the Faroe Islands in the vicinity of Scotland and Iceland. It was in an old building once used as a blacksmith shop, now serving food, mostly seafood and vegetables, all very fresh, locally grown or obtained, crazy combinations, fantastic presentations on large plates with a small hollow in the center where the bite of food would go, and the sauce, delicate, intricate, colorful, textures, flavor, 3 Michelin stars, 10 cooks in white aprons, knowledgeable servers, seating in a tiny cabin overlooking the water. The question is, how can they do business from that location? The answer is, they do. I would guess mostly by word of mouth and repeat business. I understand that fast food gets by on convenience and fairly low cost, huge volume. But there is a niche at the other end of the market, if you are brave enough to shoot for it. Remote, okay, but unique and very, very fancy, exquisite. It isn't simply build it and they will come. It isn't that easy. But if you build it right, they will come. They will find you. They will pay what you ask. They know that there is no other place like this in the world. I did some checking. In the language of the islands, cox is a flirt or someone who fusses over something in pursuit of perfection. The restaurant's website notes, no delivery. There was an article on the place in the June 11th, 2018 issue of the New Yorker. They charge $230 per person. Wine adds another $170. The tasting menu is 18 courses. The New Yorker writer found one dish inedible. The rest ranged between very pleasant and preternaturally delicious. The main attraction of the restaurant, she felt, was its uniqueness. That's the draw. It's something to think about when nearly everything is so available in the world. There is value, then, in the sheer unavailability, the rareness. I see chaos all around, a man on the radio declared. Entropy at work. I'm reading a book about Richard Pryor. It's not bad. The authors, two brothers, are describing the year 1969. The Beatles break up, the moon landing, Woodstock, and then Altamont. And they wrote, the 60s were over. Anger, violence, and fear dragged the Aquarian flower children into darkness, as it always did. Entropy at work. The House of Representatives suspended operations today in advance of the planned attack on the Capitol. District police, backed by National Guard's troop, were at the ready, unlike on the day of the rampage. There was no attack, no protesters, nothing. Fancy Bulldozy said that the National Guard would remain in Washington for as long as they were needed, a range of time that extends, depending on whom you ask, from immediate dispersal to permanent installation. Anger, violence, and fear at work. A grand jury investigation in Georgia gets underway today, looking into the trumpets' attempt to affect the outcome of the election in their state. They're taking it seriously. They have evidence, his voice on the phone, and they might be able to flip him, unlike the federal dummy craps who are running solely on hate. Also in New York, they are finally examining his tax records. That means if they want to find something, they will.